Hello my fellow gamers and welcome once again to Perafilozof City Skylines videos. In this one I'll be continuing to build up the city in which I plan to reach 1 million population on the hard mode. In the previous episode I had some problems getting more population and I'm hoping that in this episode I will be able to fix those problems. In the previous episode I also tried to several of my subscribers' suggestions. I hope you're happy with that video, and if you have more suggestions you're always free to post them and I will try my best to use them to my best knowledge, and as far as I can tell the only useful advice so far was to well, not so far. You have given me lots of good advice and I've systematically tried to use them all. From the previous episode, the advice that worked out the best was to add more education. I've now made sure to have enough capacity for all of my teams to be educated, and I've even added extra universities, even though I had plenty of capacity, but the way they were placed around the city was not allowing enough teams to go into the universities. So now you can see a lot more of these houses are bright blue, which means they have university educated citizens inside, highly educated. This one is abandoned due to not enough workers, and that is always the same problem. Not enough workers because I do not have a lot more buildings going up. They may be leveling, but I do not have that many new buildings being built up. I have also played around with the districts in order to simplify things. You will remember I had many districts in this area, but I've now simplified it to just districts where I have the raised taxes or the lower taxes, and the districts where I have only parks and recreation, and the districts where I have the parks and recreation and the high-tech housing. The reason why I don't have high-tech housing everywhere is because where I have very thin zones of residential, there's no point in placing the high-tech housing, because it's much harder for it to increase the land value enough for the Sims to live in a place where there is high enough land value for them to raise the building level up to 5. Therefore, it doesn't really pay off to engage that policy everywhere. The problem down here isn't that there isn't enough buildings, it's usually the problem of a lot of noise pollution sandwiching these buildings. Now, I could try turning high-tech housing here and see first of all whether or not it's going to be more costly than it's going to provide a boost to the taxes, and to see if a lot of these buildings are going to level up. Oh, a lot of them did level up. Yeah, so it was actually okay to have that policy here. Almost all of these buildings seem to want to level up now. I guess then the same thing can be done for this area here as well. And I can give them the policy for high-tech housing. Hopefully when they level up they are going to provide more taxes, and that will mean then this area will pay off for the for credits per building that is required when I use this policy. Very nice. A lot of these things have leveled, so at that point, if I'm using the same policy, I might as well get the district to cover this area as well, because it's the same policies that are being used. Just need some finishing touches. It's important to catch all the parks in this district, because they are influenced by the Parks and Recreation policy, and therefore if the parks themselves are not in the district, they will not be influenced by the policy. Alright, so now this is one huge district with the same policies. Over here, like I said, it's just too thin to use the high-tech housing. Alright, and let's see their level. Oh my god, that is a lot of level 4 homes. So it's very good that they've almost all managed to level up. The population is staying around at the same number. The taxes are 10% globally, but the old areas, the old districts, have the tax raise policy, so they're paying 12% taxes, while the newest areas over here, they are paying. I'm bulldozing the industry because they're at level 1 or level 2 and not getting enough workers. And when they level up, they will get more. But also I need more Cims to move in to fill up all the industry's needs. As I was trying to say, in the newest zones here, I have the policy for tax relief, so these residents here are paying just 8% taxes in order to try and attract more Cims to live in here. There was one more thing I was trying to look at. I could use the Hadron Collider at this point, and it would fix the education needs for the entire city, but I'm not entirely sure how this works. I haven't played around with these monuments much, so if you guys can tell me would it be safe for this city to use the Hadron Collider to get the education for my Cims instead of all the schools, high schools and elementary schools and universities? Please tell me in the comment section. Like I said, I haven't played around much with the monuments, so I'm not sure what the effect would be if I were to plop something like that in my city. Well, let's try and see how to get more population. The death rate is higher than the birth rate. I have 26% seniors, which I don't like. Still 3,000 jobs yet to be filled, but no new teams are moving in. From the previous episodes, you know that reducing the taxes has not had much of an effect. The teams simply stubbornly refuse to keep showing up in my city. At this point, the only thing left for me to do is just to expand further down here with the offices, industry and commercial. But then again, when I think about it, how smart is that when I already have buildings at level 2, the generic industry, that cannot find workers? And if I keep expanding down here with more offices and commercial, even though I have a demand, how are they even gonna get workers? But then again, I just do not have any other way of getting more Cims into the city. So that is pretty much my only way of expanding the buildings that produce more open jobs, because the buildings that are supposed to house Cims are not being built. Alright, so that would be the streets for the new zone. I think I can have one more, although, yeah, that will happen. Well, in that case, I can bulldoze this one, build this one, get 4x4 on both sides, and then when this one is built over here, it will have only two, actually 3. 2. Oh, that's okay. 2 squares for zoning. And what should I use as a cross street? Well, 2-lane, 2-way, ramp, another ramp. I guess at this point it should go as a 2-way, 2-lane. So if I do this, it's gonna mess up the zones. So what I'm going to do is get the street to be a little bit further away. I'm going to leave this here because I think the university zone is built onto these streets, so I won't destroy anything here. And I will just connect a bit lower than it is at the moment. So let's say here. And hopefully this won't mess up these zones previously built here. I'm not sure, is it destroying the zonable areas? I hope it's not. Hopefully this will stay like this and stay zonable and won't destroy the previously built buildings. Not sure, should I even zone onto the traffic flow street? I guess for now I will leave it like this, but I will think about whether or not I will be adding anything else there. After the cross streets, it would be a zone for residential, but as they are not even building up here, there's no point in building anything else over here. So after this would be how much residential? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So here I would use a cross street out of a ramp. If this one was going right to left, this one would go left to right. So like this. Rather annoying that it won't snap to anything. I say right to left, so left to right. Now let's see if I can connect over here with anything. Could have this one, but then it hits a pillar over here that can be fixed. Let's see, although it's pretty close, there's no need to have a cross street here. Might as well have a cross street a bit later on. For example, here. And this one does go from left to right, which is exactly what I want. Actually to the right, and this one goes to the left. Yeah, so this one would be perfect. I just need to see if I can pull it over here. Nope, again hitting some pillars. I think I'm hitting the railway pillar and the highway pillar. Okay, well, the highway pillar can be removed by using that simple trick. That takes care of that one. But as for the railway, that will have to be bulldozed. Now hopefully I'll be able to reconnect without too much issues. And then again, maybe not. Yeah, I was afraid of this. Sometimes it allows me to connect more easily, sometimes it's like this, being stubborn, and it doesn't. For some reason, even though I turned off snapping, it still snaps. Very annoying indeed. This is gonna be problematic. Well, nothing to it. We'll have to destroy this. And then it should be possible to connect. There we go. Alright, bring this back. And now I have this cross street. That spent some money and spent some time, but inevitably it has to happen. Alright, this needs to go a bit further down if I'm to get this cross street to go down. I do see some zones messed up here. I will see what I can do about them after I finish with this. Let's see, so it's going in the opposite direction actually. Can't upgrade? No, I don't want to upgrade, I just want to turn. Okay, from left to right. Now, what about these zones? I can try and bulldoze the roads, and this could lead to better zones being built, but we'll see about that in a moment. Yeah, that fixed that problem. There are a few misshapen zones here, but not too problematic as far as I can see. Although we have some problems here. I should have bulldozed the entire street. So the 2x4s would go here. Actually, 2x2s would go here, and 4x4s would go here. Well, this looks good enough. I guess I could zone the residential buildings here, but I'm not gonna hope for them to go up. That would be hoping too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3x3, I think I can go for deep. Yeah. So one more. That would be the newest residential area. It can also go into this district. And now I should expand the traffic network as well. The bus stops, for example. This red line should keep going over here. Alright, so now that the bus lines have a connection here, the next thing would be a metro, if there's not a metro close by, but there is. The next metro would end up being down here somewhere. If these are the residential areas, the next ones would be high density commercial. After that it would be offices, although I need to extend the roads a bit more. Damn, again. First this one, then this one. Okay, and now the offices. 4x4, and then some industry. 4x4. Alright, I can expand the district all the way down. Fix it up a little bit nicer on the edges. There we go, and now there should definitely be a metro station here. Not to be too far, it can go into this area here. Connection here and the connection over here. Some metro lines to connect. Let's say the red and the blue. That took the blue away from here. There should be a blue connection here as well. There we go. And then from here, this blue line can come up here. And again, this light blue one disconnected. Why are you doing that? Alright. That's pretty much everything. The power won't be here for a while, but I think it will connect from over here once they start building up, if they start building up. Let's see the service coverage. There should be a new elementary school if the residents start popping up, although I think I need the elementary school regardless of the residents for its influence onto the offices. So let's go with the elementary school being here. The industry also requires an elementary area of effect influence. What else? Fire station. Yep, definitely gonna need a fire station here. Police headquarters as well. Okay, for that I need to extend the street, get a cross street, and get the police HQ to go here. How about the crematorium? Not yet, I think. Parks? Yep, I will need parks. Let's see, this one would go here. It would be a little bit too far, actually. Maybe should be a bit closer. It's gonna start destroying the buildings, which is annoying. Maybe I could just get one in the middle here. And that should suffice for now. Perhaps not. Yeah, I'm gonna need parks on the edges as well. So how about here? And one over here. That should take care of all of that. The power did not actually connect because none of the buildings have built up here. Hopefully they will soon. And they seem to be expanding here. Excellent. I do have around 200 megawatts extra power because I had turned on this solar power plant here. But I'm not too worried about how much that costs. I'm more worried about how much more garbage capacity am I going to need, but I still have around 50,000 overhead, so that's actually fine. The population did not increase, it actually decreased while I am playing this, so I'm very unhappy with this. Not sure what else am I supposed to do to entice more Cims to move into my city. I should actually expand the bus network now here. As for the rest of these services, there is a need for a new clinic very soon here. If I expand a little bit more, I will need to get a new one. The death to birth ratio is very close, although I have 25% seniors, which is not what I want, but it is something that I will have to deal with, because there's just no way to get any more residents. They just will not come to my city. And I can't really reduce the taxes, because if I were to do such a thing and reduce the taxes on the residential, I would start losing money. You can see this right here. If I go 11 and 9, I'm gonna start having a negative balance. Or am I? Well, it kind of depends on how much money am I getting from the bus tickets and the metro tickets. They go up and down wildly. So if they go down too much, I'm going to start losing money per week. Well, I don't know. I will keep the tax at 11 and 9, hoping that it might help with the population. I mean, I did get a few more buildings here as soon as I dropped the tax, so hopefully this will get me a little bit more population, but I don't see it as being a big enough boost that I need it to be. You can see here I now have over 3,500 jobs yet to be filled, so definitely have plenty of need for workers, but I just do not have any new ones moving into my city. I can check on my capacity for education. More than enough. I even have too many elementary schools. Get rid of a few or not. Yeah, their coverage is necessary where it is to help level up the buildings, because it provides a service, and therefore I can't turn off any of them, even though I have more elementary school capacity than I need. I have a little bit less high school capacity, but there's no need to jump for another high school at this point. Well, I'm sorry to say that the population has stayed the same after this entire video. Now let's see how's the lake drainage going on. Nothing yet, so that tells me if the lake is not draining, I can switch more of the water capacity to be coming off the lake instead of the river, and now I don't have to be afraid that my water treatment plants will pollute my water supply. These are all now turned off, and the new ones will go here. I'm going to spread them a bit more around so that I would not have any problems like I have at the river, where a few of them are pulling all the water towards them and not letting any others gain any water to pump in. Alright, this should be just enough capacity. 1,680,000 cubic meters of water per week. Plenty. And it should be interesting to see just how much water can this one water source here in the lake provide. This is already more than 1.5 million cubic meters. Alright, it's understandable the industry will go abandoned because it isn't gaining any workers. The building levels are pretty high, and it's probably the reason why I am not losing money, even though I've reduced the taxes. The population is 120,900. A few homes were built here in the newest area, but nothing since then. and in the previous areas still looks the same. Well, that's all the time I have for this video. Thank you all for watching, and please stay tuned for more.